All right, for the questions for our exit ticket this week, our first question is, why do we ask students to do project work and create productions? And this is because it helps students understand the material better, and it helps the teachers see where the students still may be struggling or what new ideas that they bring to the material. It also helps them collaborate with their students and their peers, and it helps with teamwork and team building in the classroom. It also brings out the creative side in the students, and the students are more creative, and they have to use creativity to create their projects or their productions. It also explores their learning in a different way. A lot of the time, teachers do the same type of work and students can get bored of it, and this is a new way for students to show what they learned and how much they learned of it. The second question is, how does it reflect on their learning? It shows if they actually understand it, and it shows it at a deeper level that they can come up with something that they learned, and it shows that they are fully understanding the material, and it helps the teachers see how the students learn best. So teachers can come up with all these different projects for them and stuff, and they can see which ones worked better for students and which ones didn't. And students will also be able to present their work and have a good understanding of it. So if a student can be able to explain their work and present it to the class, then it really does show your full understanding of that topic. It also helps teachers know what their students are still struggling with and what they might need to go a little bit deeper into. So what student production tasks do you think will benefit your future students? I think plays or skits will be great examples of what will benefit students because they get to be creative, they get to work with other students, and I also think creative writing and using vocab words in that creative writing, and a good resource is Night Zookeeper. Legos could be a great source if you want to build something. Trifold presentations have the students come up with a presentation and present it in front of the class. And then Seesaw is also another great example that students can use. And here are some examples of the students using some different examples. So they're over here. This is Seesaw. The one to the bottom right is a seesaw, and they can work with their peers. They can post something, and then they can see what their peers are posting, and teachers can evaluate it. This is the Night Owl, which is a great resource, and this is just another resource of students creating something. So the next question are, what are your ideas for Makerspace in your future classroom? And mine is, I would love to have a section in my classroom for Makerspace, and students can be creative and show their understanding through it. So I would have craft supplies so students can make projects, and it will be hands-on activities. Legos, I think, is a great idea for Makerspace. Green screens, students can be very creative with the green screen and, make videos. And each week I would like to have a different project in the Makerspace because it helps the students develop their learning, and students can learn differently through it, and many students work better when it is hands-on, and it's not all of the things in the classroom are the same every day, and when it is the same, it becomes very boring. So here are some ideas of Makerspace. So I like the Legos and how it says how this is a Makerspace where people can create, remix, remake, all these different things. I like how it's all so organized back here, and there's so many different supplies that the students can use, and all these tools that they can use. Like Makerspace, they can create using tape and paper and glue, and they'll need scissors and just all these different resources. I think would be such a good idea to have in your classroom. The next question is, what is the role of student assessment? And the role is to help educators see the progress in students' learning and see if they actually understand the material that was being taught. And it helps educators see where their students are struggling so that they can fix what they did, like what the students may not understand, and fix it for next year, or even reteach the lesson if it really did not go well. And we can achieve student-centered assessment by coming up with like surveys to ask your students and asking like how they prefer to take assessments, and like there should be assessments that the students enjoy and not making it so stressful, because if your students are not enjoying the assessments, then the outcome is not gonna be as good. And getting their feedback on what is working and what is not working, I think, is very important, because as a teacher, you don't really know what the students are feeling and what is best for them all the time. And I feel like if you're asking your students what they think will help them, I think is really important. And some online tools may help some students, but not all. So like online tests, and here on my next slide, I gave some examples of assessments. So like concept maps, or Quizlets, or like presentations that are interactive, so like students can be involved in the presentations, or like doing stuff like together, assessments together as a group. I think could also be a great idea to like spread ideas and collaborate with your peers. Question 4 is how do you think teachers can help to close the digital divide? So teachers can try to have like computer labs open for longer. They can like reach out to local libraries to see if they can extend their hours to those students who do not have access to the internet, because there are actually a lot of students who do not. And like they can find additional resources that they can use if they're unable to access the internet. So it's going to be really hard for a teacher to close the digital divide, so we're going to have to come up with alternate plans if they are unable to find internet or find the right technology. And I think it's really important for teachers to have more classroom time to work on the assignment, because when you're at school, they are definitely able to use computers and technology and have internet access to do it. And then what can I do for the future to end the divide? I could raise money through the school so each student can have their own computer if they can't afford it, because a lot of families do have phones and iPhones and all that, but it is so hard to do assignments on your phone, and each student does need like an iPad or a computer. And I think if we raised money and awareness, then we would be able to get everyone their own iPad or Chromebook or whatever it may be, and like being a leader and showing how there is a digital divide, because I don't think many people are aware of this digital divide and how much it can affect the students.